Hello, dirty trucking. It's 8:23, and what am I doing now? I'm back at my apartment, as you can see. I'm back at the apartment. Why, you ask? Thanks for asking. I'm gonna tell you. Because Hertz gave me a car that keeps cutting off. I got this car. This car has that auto start stop feature. But it's not functioning to where the other cars is when they be at the stoplight, you hear it crank, cut off and cut on. It's the stupidest feature I've ever heard put on a vehicle. It's not saving you any gas. It's not doing anything for that split seconds that you had a fucking stoplight that is cutting off. It's not saving you any goddamn thing. It's an aggravating ass feature. So this car has that auto start. Let me show you. Stop feature on. When this button is on, the auto stop is on. When the button is on. When it's off, auto stop is off. As you can see, the oil light, the engine light has gone off. You want to know why? It's because I had to go in my pocket and buy oil for a rental car because it was bone dry. Yesterday, I got the car. I did 3 trips. I was up there in Macomb County on Gratiot and North Walnut. I went to go pick up a rider. I pull up. The rider is a minor. He's under the age of 18. When he got to the car, I asked, "You 18? No, young man, you can't ride. You're going to have to exit the car." So I got down to the stop sign at the end of his block. The engine did a little funny something. Turned the corner, was going up to the stoplight. And right before I got to the stoplight, the motherfucking car cut off. Now, the auto stop light was on. Sat there trying to crank it. Now it's talking about low battery, battery charging system that kicked in. All this other stuff. Now I call Hertz. The worker at Hertz that gave me the car said she was going to come out there. While she was coming out, she's told me to take the goddamn key fob and put it on a push button, because this is a push button car to turn it on and off. Told me to take the goddamn key fob and put it on the push button to try to start the car. This key fob ain't gonna start shit putting it on the push button. There's nothing about this key fob that's gonna start the goddamn car from the goddamn key fob. So I'm sitting there in the middle of the goddamn street. The car still won't start. So I said, well, let me sit. This damn battery saver system done kicked in. Then it said battery charging something that kicked in. So, well, let me just turn everything off and let it sit here for a minute. So I'm sitting here making a video about why the car cut off. And I might upload the video. I'm going to have to look at the video and make sure she's not in the footage. Then you can see the video. I'm going to have to find the video. The car, when she got there, she comes to her and she said, "Did you take the key fob and try to start it?" Yeah, I told her, I tried to take the key fob and try to start it. So I think she took the key fob or I took the key fob, and she said, "Push the push button." The car started to crank. It wasn't because of the key fob. It was because the car sat. Got the car started. The rest of the day, I kept that feature off. Never had a problem with it. So today, when I went to get the oil, when I got up this morning, I remembered to cut it off, to go get the oil. I ain't got no business going in my pocket buying oil to put in a goddamn rental car. It was bone fucking dry. There's something wrong with this car, with that oil bone fucking dry. That means the riders that were driving around in this goddamn car wasn't checking the goddamn thing. And I ain't got no business going in this motherfucker, my pocket, putting shit in this goddamn car. I'm not maintenance. I'm not working on shit. And they seem to like to do that when they get me in these goddamn vehicles. They like doing shit or placing me in vehicles that got some goddamn issues, acting like I'm supposed to find out what the problem is, or discuss the problem, give you some free, what's happening here. You getting free consultation about your goddamn problems in your vehicle, so when you make your next model, you know what not to put on there because I'm complaining about what the fuck going on. See, that's how they get free shit without having to pay you. So they put me in this car. I pick up a lady. She's going to Amazon. She's on her way to work. We on Woodward right at the light at 6 Mile. I'm talking to her. We having a pleasant conversation. Ain't had a problem. The goddamn motherfucking car cut off at the light. I looked down, the auto start is on, so I cut it off. I try to crank it. Same thing. The more you try to crank it, the battery shit. Then finally, it was on auxiliary. The battery light popped up, so I kept trying to try to crank it one more time. Nothing. So cut the car off, cut the radio off. Sat there. So a nice pedestrian, nice motorist behind me, a guy who happened to have some equipment to test the battery, and find out what that is. Came to the car to assist. He asked me to pop the hood. He went to put it on there. Funny thing, this battery on this car, he said, I can't find a negative post. I don't know, because the battery post on this one is like some flat piece of metal. And because I took it to AutoZone yesterday, because they told me to take it to AutoZone from Hertz and let them check it. He said the battery was 100%. He said, could it be the alternator? He said, well, if it's the alternator, the battery going to be 100%. I said, well, why did it cut off? And then he looked in the car. He said, oh, you got the auto start stop feature. You got to be off. Well, it comes on and off. I don't know nothing about your auto start feature. I know that's a car I don't want. So I noticed after I turned it off manually and kept it off the whole day and remembered to keep it off every time I started the car back, because it comes on automatically when you start the car. I didn't have no problem with the car cutting off. So today I got a passenger rider. I had to have her money refunded, because we sitting there in the light, the car done cut off, and it won't crank back up. This function on this car acts more like a kill switch than an auto start stop. It's an auto stop, and it does it at specific times of the day. It just cuts the fucking car off. Now, I'm out there in Mount Clemens when it cut it off in the middle of the street. It was odd. Just cut it off. And it did it again today. So I told her I was going to refund her money because she shouldn't have to be, this wasn't a pleasant ride. Your ride was interfered. Luckily, she was left for work early, so she wasn't going to be late. The guy that was trying to assist with the battery checker thing, he said he couldn't find a negative post. He looking all over the car for the negative post. I didn't see it on there either. I don't know what kind of fucking battery this is. But this auto stop, I don't know why it cut the car off and wouldn't let it crank back up. You have to let it sit. And then all of a sudden it'll crank back up. I'm at the light. I'm in the middle of Woodward. Woodward is a busy street. Now, I'm starting to question why they gave me this motherfucking car that's cutting off doing this shit. And it's cutting off in the middle of the goddamn streets. First out there in Macomb County. Now we in Detroit. It's cutting off while you're in the middle of the goddamn street. And not starting back up. So you have to let it sit to start back up. I cut the feature off. Then let it sit. He was out there fooling with it. I told him, move your stuff. Let me try to crank it. It cranked right on up. It act like it was having trouble turning over, like the battery was low or something. But I took it to AutoZone. He told me the battery was fine. He said the battery was 100%. They got on my Hertz rental car. You know, they give you that little slip when you rent a car. She had to change me out from the electric vehicle she had me in into this one. Because I didn't want the electric. She didn't have no other car to put me in at the time. But the guy came in mysteriously with this one. And I just happened to look on that slip she gave me about the car that she transferred me into. She put on there that the gas miles, the gas was on full when that guy turned it in. The gas wasn't on full. Matter of fact, the gas was where it is now. It's where it is now. That's where the gas was. But she got on there, it was full. And I know they don't think I'm finna put a full tank in this bitch. And it wasn't full when I got it. I ended up having to put almost $44 worth of gas in this goddamn car after I got in the goddamn car. Yesterday. But she got on a slip, it was full. Then today, I got to go buy oil to put in the car. Oil to put in the goddamn car because they didn't want it to go to the oil thing because it's not due for the oil change for another 1,400 miles. Okay, well, that's y'all. But I forgot after I did the oil change, I cranked the car up, I didn't turn that feature off. I'm just driving and driving and driving. Ain't nothing happening. I'm driving and driving. When you at the light, the car don't cut off and crank back up when you take off. It wasn't doing none of that. So I don't know what kind of feature this is on this car. Some auto stop. So we had over the 6 mile. All of a sudden, the steering wheel just went locked up on it. Yeah, that's how you know the juice been cut to it. It's like, you know when the power been cut. Your steering wheel lock up on you and you just coasting. That's what it did. And it wouldn't start back. You had to sit there, and then all of a sudden it start back. So now, I notified Uber. I called Uber and I told them, could you please refund the rider? I said it wasn't her. Her tab got ran up because there was an issue with the car. The car had cut off. She ended up writing it up. And then Uber ended up removing the car off the goddamn profile after talking to her. They removed the car off I picked up one more passengers. And then after that, after I dropped them off, I went to go on the app. Uber had removed the car off of there, sending me a notification that we heard you had a mechanical issue with the car. Please send the receipt. Issues been resolved. And I sent him a notification. There is no maintenance need to be done with the car. The auto stop was on and it cut the fucking car off. So I sent pictures of it with this button on and what it says on the dash, and the button off and what it says on the dash. When the lady answered the phone, first of all, here she go with calling me a man. She said, what's your name? Can you verify your name? I said, Juanita Morgan. And then she said, sir. I'm like, look, first of all, you're not talking to a man. Then she turned around and said, I know that. Well, bitch, if you knew that, then why did you say that? Don't play no motherfucking games with me. You better respect me and who the fuck you talking to over the phone. Gonna call me a man, and then when I checked her ass about it, she gonna act like she knew I was a female. But bitch, you didn't know that when you saying man. I told you they like to get on these phones and do this shit. All this shit that's going on with it. This car got New York plates. First of all, let me tell you that. It got New York plates. It's been cutting off. They done been getting in and then turn the lights on and then put scratches on it. Nothing but black cars around me. All since I got the car. All day, just black cars everywhere. Coming around me. This has to do with the goddamn lottery. I'm telling you. That code mysteriously popping up on the dash. Because of the low oil. It was the reason the car didn't have no goddamn oil in it when you gave it to me. She asked me what trip it was, what time was the trip when the car cut off, because they want to know the time. What you need to know what time for? I already got the rider refunded. You were supposed to be on here about the message I got. Now, she's telling me to watch my email to see if they got it resolved. We're going to get it resolved. I'm going to take this motherfucking car back tomorrow. I'm done for the day. I only made $42 a day fucking around with this motherfucking car. I've gotten tired of Uber. I've gotten tired of Uber personnel. See, when you let them motherfuckers make decisions, this is what happened. They took my car off the account. The car is running. There's nothing wrong with it now. Before you found out what was really wrong with it, if you needed to take it off the goddamn account, you just removed it for the account and started asking me questions. Now I gotta wait all these hours until you feel like putting it back on the account. I'm getting sick of it. I'm tired of it. I'm pissed off. I don't want to be bothered with it no more. So when she told me I got to wait, she done sent it in twice to the safety department for them to review the pictures and all that and make their decision if you're going to put the car back on the app. I'll tell you what, I'm going home. I'm done. I'm not going to keep doing this shit. They put me in this car for a reason. For it to be breaking down like this, in the middle of the goddamn street. It's fucking cutting off in the goddamn middle of the street. That's what's pissing me off. Now, I got to wait for an email to see if I'm able to go back online. And last I checked before I started my drive home, I wasn't able to go back online. They'll let me know. Well, bitch, let me know. When you let me know, we take it from there. Because right now I'm going home. And I'm letting the world know I'm working for Uber. And they keep pulling you pull the car off the account because I told you I was with a rider. I wanted her refunded because the car mysteriously cut off at the light for no reason. The whole damn day. Now, when I had it off, it's ran fine. I forgot and left it fucking on. Cut off at the goddamn light. We had Woodward and fucking 6 Mile. I don't know why it cut off. But I turned the feature off. The guy tried to fool with it to check the battery. He can't find a negative post because he was going to try to disconnect the battery. He said, it sounds like something needs to be reset on here. He couldn't find a negative post to disconnect nothing. So I said to him, can you move your stuff? Let me try to recrank it. Because all you got to do is sit, it'll recrank. It cranked up. It took a minute to try to turn over, but it cranked up. So, but because they did that, all I told you was refund the lady because the car had cut off. And that's what ran a bill up. I didn't say I had a mechanical issue. You let me tell you if I got a goddamn mechanical issue. You don't assume there's a mechanical issue for you to take my car off to take the car off the goddamn account, interfering with me making money. I will accurately tell you if it's a mechanical issue. I told you the car cut off. I didn't go into detail why it cut off. It had the auto stop button on. I didn't go into detail of that. I didn't think I needed to. But when she put that in her report, see, that's what they do. That's what happened when you get the wrong motherfuckers running in doing work in your business, making decisions and determinations. You end up with your car off your goddamn account. I made $40-something a day. Fucking wasting my time getting up. I'm back home. I'm pissed off. I'm not going back out there. They ain't got my account cleared, and you think I'm going to sit around on a lot until you finally send an email, and you think I'm going to drive through the night until the next morning because of something you didn't have to do? Fuck you!